Hello. Hi, Michelle.
You, you inviting everybody?
I'm trying.
Hi, Michelle.
Hello.
How are you?
Hey,
Good.
Mandy, I know you're in the audience. For you to do your speaking part, I didn't know. I'm trying to move you to be a panelist. Jeff, I'm trying to promote you as well.
If you can't get this, I
Hi,
will.
Mandy.
Hi,
Hi.
Mandy.
Hi,
Hello.
Jeff.
I'm going to take off my background really quick.
Hi, Jeff.
Hello.
How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
We're down to the wire. We're getting excited over here now. It's game time for us.
It is.
It
Just got
is.
back from Florida.
Oh, how was the
Oh,
weather?
wow.
Much
I
better than Ohio.
Beautiful.
Much better than Ohio.
I heard it's very hot right now in Florida.
It's actually, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, let's hear your opinion, Mandy.
We had a cool front come through, so the weather has been absolutely beautiful.
Okay.
No humidity. The highs are in like the mid 70s, mid to low or upper 70s. Beautiful weather.
Oh, all right. My sister was just there in Disney with the kids. Is that right now, Michelle?
Yeah.
Mandy's like,
Oh
it's
my
just
gosh.
so cold, and Michelle pulls out snow.
Like I don't want to hear it.
Uh,
Beautiful.
and right now we have, and I think
Hi,
Cindy just
Cindy.
popped in as our last, hi Cindy, our last panelist to join us. We have 21 attendees so far. Thank you everyone for joining. We are recording this for all of those that can't join. And we'll wait another 2 minutes to make sure everyone is here. But thank you for my 24 people that are right on time. Appreciate you. You will get gold stars at convention.
And quick question. I'm doing the first two slides.
Yes, and I have, look, I can even deploy.
Oh,
To anyone in here, I do have some poll questions up. I have two. One is how you heard about RIA to become a member in the first place, and then what you're looking forward to most at convention. If you want to take a second, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Oh, it won't let us vote.
no, I noticed that. I was going to, but
Well, Cindy, how did you hear about RIA?
Debbie Woodard, I mean Debbie at Woodard was like, we're members of this. Make sure you always make it happen. I was like, okay.
Miss Michelle, how did you hear about us?
just coming into the industry. The RIA show in 2015 was my first industry event.
Ooh, 2015.
Yeah. Actually, April 10th, 2015 was the day that I started my first job in the industry,
What
actually. I
was
just
that
realized
show?
that.
Where was it?
I think it was in Florida. Year
Okay.
2 was in Vegas. So I think the first year was in Florida. World Center Marriott, maybe.
I was gonna say Vegas was my strong option if I had to go back and look. Jeff, how did you hear about us?
My first show was first RIA show was in 2013. Viola
Ah,
was a vendor at that time, and we got asked to join or be part of the RIA through some of our clients who were members.
perfect. Danielle, you could start sharing now and I will do some introductions. So hi everyone, thank you for coming. My name is Nicole Sargent. I'm the Director of Operations for the Restoration Industry Association, known as RIA, or if you like to be real silly, RIA. It's always my favorite when we get the RIAs. On the call as well, I have the beautiful Danielle Knights. She is our membership manager. If you ever email info@restorationindustry.org, that is the beautiful face that is getting all of those emails. In the audience too, helping us answer some questions. We do have our meetings team and some other marketing individuals within RIA that can help. And then the rest of the members on this call today, we will introduce them when the time comes for them to speak, but they are all beautiful members of our volunteer team here at RIA. And we're getting Stephanie up on the panel. And most of them are on our membership committee, which is chaired by Jeff Jones over here and Cindy Van Heest. And a member, Mandy, is one of our members, and Stephanie, who is joining us as a panelist right now, is the chair of our meetings planning committee and helps make the annual convention and trade show happen. So again, we have 61% of you participating in our polls on how did you hear about RIA and what are you looking forward to most about convention. And we'll let you, Jeff, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Jeff Jones with Viola Management. I have the honor to serve both on the membership committee as well as the event planning committee. So it's a lot of fun, and I appreciate everybody who's here on this call right now. And I think what really drew me in for the RIA and wanted me to get involved in it, I went because my boss told me to go in 2013 to the first session. But I noticed when I got there, I'd been to a lot of trade shows. I'd been to other trade shows in restoration, but I'd been to other trade shows in other industries. But it was the level of conversation at this particular event that is so much different than the other ones that are out there. Most of the ones you go there, people are very guarded. It's kind of cliquey. When you go to the RIA, you could be talking to a $50 million business owner. You could be talking to a $500,000 business owner. Either way, people are asking great questions, and there's fantastic conversation. And if you go there hungry to learn, and you go there really just dropping the walls, dropping the ego, and wanting to meet people, wanting to learn, you will get more out of this show than you're going to get in any other event that takes place in the industry. So we appreciate everybody who is on this call, who was part of the webinar, and we look forward to seeing you all here in West Palm. So I'm going to hand it off here shortly, but we're going to get into what makes the conference really unique and what the conference is going to look and feel like. We actually did a little, we're going to do a lot of networking as far as how to work the show the right way. And then they took my slide away, so I can't tell you what the rest of it is, but there's going to be plenty more here coming up. There it is. Expo floor, making the most out of what the membership is about, and then wishing everybody best of luck and looking forward to seeing you this year.
So I'm sure you can all see the results of our question. Danielle, if you want to put the question back up. Our top 71% of you answered you're looking forward to networking the most. An additional 15%, I love all of you learners, are looking forward to the CECs and the education that is going to be provided. We have some amazing speakers this year, amazing sessions. And yes, you absolutely do get CEC credit for attending. And another 15% of you are also looking forward to the trade show and the opportunities that come with that trade show. So thank you all for sharing that information. And we will hop into our next speaker, Miss Danielle. Do you want to hit next slide?
It's like, I'm not speaking, but I'll go to the next slide. It's on my face. All right.
So next up we have Stephanie. She is the chair of our convention planning committee. She's going to go over an overview of the schedule and some other logistical things on what you need to know if this is your first time at convention.
Yes, thank you, Nicole. And sorry, I had a little trouble joining the panel. So good morning, everybody. And I'm excited for all of you guys that are coming to convention for the first time. This has been a great, first of all, I just had the pleasure of being on a committee that got to plan the conference collaboratively with a great group of like minds. And when we were planning this conference, every year we do a survey at the end of the year or at the end of the conference, just seeing like what our attendees, our members want to see more of. And so keeping that in mind, the schedule and the content was created based on all of the restorers that gave feedback on the previous year's conference. Now, some say it's hard to beat a solar eclipse, but I would have to argue with that. Last year, we were in Dallas for the solar eclipse, but you get the luxury of taking a mini vacation to West Palm Beach, so what can be better than that? Looking forward to seeing all of you guys, but I love the survey, the content of networking and just getting the credits and stuff like that. And this year we have a lot to offer on that site, as well as a bunch of other content. So how to plan your schedule. Using the app is going to be a big one, right? So clicking on the different, going to town hall, obviously going to see the keynote speaker, but then what do you do after that? So you want to pick content that obviously you want to learn more about, and you'll be able to do that on the app. So some of the highlights of the first day, obviously opening remarks and town hall on Tuesday, the 29th, definitely attend that. You'll get to see a lot of, you'll get to see the board, the new board, incoming board, and meet a lot of fellow restorers. Is a great way to network. Sit by someone you don't know. I always recommend that, to go sit up in the front as well. So if you're a person that sits in the back, sit in the front. The keynote speaker, I'm excited to have him. He'll be speaking that morning at 9:45. This is a big question. I'll be saying what to wear. I say comfortable casual because you walk a ton. I actually went to my first conference about 4 years ago, and I decided to wear the cutest pointy flats, and I thought these are going to be so amazing. No. I had blisters like crazy. I know that everybody can speak to that, but wear something comfortable, right? We want you to be comfortable, so you're obviously immersed in the content. And then what to bring. I think just a notepad. Sometimes some people bring their laptop and their phone and their iPad and all that. Although we know we're all tied to all of that, it's very distracting, and sometimes you're not able to really immerse yourself in the content. So maybe bring a notebook and write down a lot of notes of like what I want to do when I get home, right? Top 3 things you want to do. So a full day on Tuesday of content, as well as the industry party Tuesday night. So that's always the highlight. One of the highlights is the Sunbelt party. So it's a great way for you to network, is at that party. And then Wednesday, again, another jam-packed day of a ton of content. So RIA, there's a new breakout session we have this year on RIA resources for success. I'm really excited about this breakout session because if you're a new time member, this is a great way to attend and get everything you need and know about RIA. So I hope I covered everything. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys there.
Just also letting you know, you'll get instructions soon on how to download the app. And please make sure you set up your profile when you download the app. That's how other attendees will be able to know that you're coming, connect with you, and you can make it as robust or basic as you want. We also have a ribbon and a ribbon wall. So if you're a first-time attendee, make sure when you check in, get your ribbons that associate with you. It's a really easy way to identify who's doing what. Who's a volunteer, who's a first-time member, who has designations. And it's a great way to identify, hey, I want to ask those people specific questions. I want to ask about enterprise membership. I want to ask about being a vendor, XYZ. So we have a really robust ribbon wall, and it's really fun. It is not corny at all. I promise. It really helps identify other participants that you may want to ask questions of or connect because you're in similar situations. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I look forward to seeing you in West Palm Beach and thanking you for all the hard work you've done. Next, we have Mandy. Mandy is one of our vendor members and a beautiful part of our membership committee, and she's going to talk to you about some tips and tricks on how to effectively network at this convention and how to navigate the expo hall. And she is an expert in that expo hall.
Thank you so much, Nicole. Hi, good morning, or yes, it's morning. Good morning, everyone. So just to kind of go over like how to network, right? Before you even get to the event, I highly recommend going through the app, looking, seeing who's attending, try to connect with people. You know, if there's someone that you see that you're like, oh yeah, I know this person, make sure to try to connect with them before you even get there. I highly also recommend before you go, making sure that your mindset is one of hey, I'm going into a place where this is your first time. So I'm going to meet a whole bunch of new people, and know that it is okay to just go up and speak to any and everyone, knowing that the floor is open. Everyone had to start from somewhere, and this is your start. So going with that, I'm going to kind of blend through a little bit of how to network as well as the expo hall. So networking is going to happen everywhere. It can literally happen from the moment you get to your hotel, right in the lobby with people that you see with their RIA badge. Don't be afraid to walk up and have a conversation. And that also, also goes into practicing your elevator pitch before you get up there, so that when you do meet people, the first question is, hey, who are you with? What do you do? At least you're comfortable with being able to say, I'm with so-and-so company and this is my position. And I want to say this as lightly as possible. Don't feel intimidated by whoever it is that you're speaking with. Know that it is an open room. You are with like-minded people. Everyone in the industry is there to grow, to learn, to network. So don't be afraid or hesitant in speaking to anyone that you see with an RIA lanyard on. Next, so like I mentioned, networking can take place in the hotel lobby. Networking can take place, it will definitely take place at the RIA. So make sure that when you are there, when you are registering for your badge, you can also have conversations with people who are standing in front of you, beside you, behind you. Those are all opportunities to meet people, to get to know people. When you go into the expo hall, that is where you're going to really see everyone kind of congregating in hallways, in walkways. Don't be afraid to join those conversations. As a matter of fact, I kind of have a little, Jeff was with me the other day while I was trying to figure out a few new ways, right? Like I've been networking for some time now, but there's always something else that you can do to try to, right, improve on how to network. So I walked up to a few people, literally just infused myself in a conversation with several people that I've never met before. And I walked up and I was like, hi, I'm Mandy. That's my go-to. That's literally it. It's as simple as that. Hi, I'm Mandy. And well, you won't say that. If you do, I'm sure they'll look down and look at your lanyard. But just going in there and being able to insert yourself and, have that conversation, join the conversation, have the conversation with them. So once again, the expo hall, going to all of the events. You have the first time, you'll also have the first time attendee event. That's a great opportunity to meet with other people who it's their first time at the trade show as well. I'll tell you my first time at the event, I went to the first time attendee little meeting, and I connected with several individuals who had never been to the RIA, and I'm still connected with them years later. And it all started from going there and literally just networking, having that first conversation and building those relationships. So that's that first event. And then you also have the evening events that'll happen. The industry party is one of my favorites. That's where I met Michelle. So making sure that you are going there and having those conversations with people. Don't be afraid to walk up, once again, to walk up to someone you don't know. And if you are there with someone from your team, I highly recommend separating yourself from your team member. I know this is hard, but separating yourself from your team member and walking up to a group of people that you've never met before and putting yourself out there and just getting to know. And then once you did meet a new friend, go back to your team member and challenge them to do the same thing. Now you have 4 people, you, your team member, and 2 new people that you're able to engage with, that you're able to have that conversation with, and seeing what sessions they go to, seeing, you know, what it is that they're doing for the next several days. That will allow you to be able to align yourself with people that you've just met in the industry and be able to continue that networking. So networking is not just about a single instance at that event. It's going to be something that you want to continue on throughout the event. Every time you see, you know, someone that you met, hey, how are you doing? How was your day? How was that session? What did you learn in that session? I went to this session. This is what I learned. So constantly engaging with people and meeting, bringing new people into those conversations. That's definitely tips that will help take you not just with being a first timer, but also next year when you come back, being able to carry those relationships on. So once again, those are some of the basics for networking, and then practicing your pitch. Following up post event is also really important. Now, I know I mentioned like how to network there, but if you have a digital card, and this is my most favorite, if you have you could have the standard business cards, but my favorite is the digital business card, because what it allows me to do is really connect with people and make sure that, hey, when I go to call them in the future, they'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's Mandy. It's not a card, because cards get lost sometimes and people forget to put it in their phone. But with a digital business card, you're always able to, that person, when you reach out to them, you're not having to say, hey, by the way, you know, this is Mandy with JOC. They'll be able to say, oh yeah, it'll pop up. Oh yeah, I remember having that conversation with this person. I remember who this person is, what company they're with, and it'll trigger those memories back from the event. Another great tip, take pictures with the people that you're networking with, because one, it's a memorable moment. You can share it, you know, ask them if, hey, are you on LinkedIn? Are you on Instagram? Are you on Facebook? And you all can then continue from that moment that you've met, be able to continue that relationship on. So those are some of the tips and tricks that I know have definitely worked for myself, and I'm sure others here on the committee, on how to be able to effectively network. Now, post, that's where also, like I was saying with the business cards, the digital business cards, it definitely makes it easy for you to be able to follow up with them, going in there and saying, hey, you know, it was great meeting you at the event. If you're local, if you meet somebody who's local to you, try to meet up with them, try to, you know, have some coffee. Or if you all are, you know, if you're going to another conference in that region, being able to say, hey, I would love to come, you know, by your office. I'd love to go and see what it is that you all are doing. Network, learn, because that's exactly what this event is for. It's to be able to meet other people in the industry that are doing what you're doing, that's having maybe some of the same pain points, or who've maybe figured out how to get past those pain points. So those relationships are going to transcend the event, and making sure you follow up post event is going to help you to be able to build on those relationships and also help grow your business as well. So that, yes.
I appreciate that. Like the ability is like, it's not just professional, it's personal. RIA is about community building. It's about our profession. And to Mandy's point, I have a memory of a squirrel. So if I do digital networking cards, I write down things in the notes of that contact. So I remember, I'll be like, they were wearing this color. We talked about this. So it triggers my memory, because you're meeting so many people. And if I have a paper one, I flip it over and I write on the back, so that when I pull out that card again, I can connect, you know, name to face. And I'm sure some of you have these tips and tricks in your toolbox and could probably tell us a couple. But truly, this is about community. It's about community building. It's more than just professional.
Yes.
Stephanie wanted to remind everyone the welcome reception is in the expo hall, especially if you're a first-time attendee. We'll be meeting up outside of that, so we can walk in together if you want to meet anyone on this call. And then the Sunbelt Party as well is our industry party. And we're going to get, Mandy, we're going to do the next slide and have you talk about really diving into the expo hall, how to manage it. Our expo hall is in fact huge this year. We have so many amazing vendors coming. We are sold out. So what can we expect? How do you maximize your time in the expo hall?
That's a great question, Nicole. Well, back to the other point of networking, right? A lot of networking happens in this expo hall. So using your app before you get to the event to make sure that you've mapped out, see, you know, maybe there's a good chance that a lot of the vendors that you're using will be located in this expo hall. Not only vendors that you're using, but maybe there's new solutions that you see that you're like, oh, you know, I want to be able to check those out. I say do a lot of that homework before so that when you get into the expo hall, you know exactly which row they're on, where you're going, stop by, see the vendors that you are using, because there's an opportunity that, you know, maybe there's a new feature that's out that you may not have realized that can definitely help you with what you're currently using. Additionally, if there's a new solution that's out, check it out, see what's going on in there. So making sure before you get in there that you have kind of an idea of where you want to go, what solutions you want to be able to see, what you might already have in place, and utilizing that time to really see what's going on in the industry. So we are an ecosystem, right? Like this, we're all part of the restoration ecosystem, and making sure that when you get in there, that you know exactly where you're going, what's going on, how are we using these new technologies to be able to, you know, grow and scale your business, for you to be able to learn how to grow and scale your business is huge. And then once again, I'm going to go back to that. It's a great opportunity to network. You're going to run into like-minded people who are also either using similar solutions or looking for new, and being able to, you know, toggle back and forth and figure out what really works for you. It is a great space. I believe lunch is also going to be in there too. So maybe going in there and figuring out, identifying where you'd want to be when lunch breaks out is definitely going to be huge.
And I do want to mention, just because, you know, Mandy and Jeff over here are part of our Affinity Partner Program. Our Affinity Partner Program is basically a group of vendor members that offer exclusive discounts to RIA members that also support the RIA in the industry of restoration. There will be an app. They are delineated in there. The mobile app will launch on the 23rd. Though they will also have signs at their booth letting you know that they're affinity partners. Year-round information on how to access those discounts is on our page under discounts. It has a discount page. Every single vendor in every program we offer has a membership page to tell you how to use those discounts. This past year, our RIA members saved over around $350,000 by partnering with these companies and utilizing these discount programs. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, knowing that we have many, many, many members that don't take advantage of these programs currently. So please, we're going to also talk to you about the Affinity Marketplace, but please know that in the Expo Hall, if you're looking on return on investment, how to utilize all of that, Affinity Partners are a great way to do it, and a great way to maximize your time. If you want to start there and look and see who our partners are in that program. Mandy, you are truly wonderful. Thank you so much for spending your time with us this morning. Danielle, can you go to the next slide, please? So the Expo Hall hours, Mandy, anything you want to cover here?
Excuse me, sorry. So yes, just Monday, as you see, Expo Hall hours are from 4 to 7:30. Welcome reception is 5:30 to 7:30. Once again, great opportunity to network at that welcome reception on Tuesday. As you see, it's 11:30 to 5, and then 12 is lunch. So going through, having a plan of where you want to go, going through, once you're done with your session, you'll be able to go and have lunch in the expo hall. Another opportunity to network. And then Wednesday, 10:30 to 1:15 p.m. And then lunch is in between there. It starts at 12. Once again, all in the expo hall. And then on the last day, Wednesday the 30th, 1:15 to 6 p.m. Will be the last opportunity for you to get into the expo hall and spend time with the vendors.
Danielle, you can head to the next slide, please. So you're gonna talk with me for a little bit. We have an award session on Tuesday, April 29th, from 3:15 to 4:45. And I want to talk through some of these amazing and prestigious awards. We have the RIA Volunteer of the Year Award. It was established in 2022. This is a volunteer with the RIA. They're recognized as a significant contribution within the past year. They are nominated by other volunteers and industry professionals, and our board of directors votes on those nominees and the nomination packet to pick one volunteer of the year. We have our Contractor Choice Awards. This was established in 2021. They're created to recognize the popular projects and services within the industry. We have Best Product and Tool and Best Service and Support. Our entrants apply, they pay a fee to participate, and the winners are determined through online voting from our members. So our RIA members are voting on, in fact, what is their best product and tool and what is the best service and support that they have seen in this past year, and we will award those. We have our Patricia L. Harmon Golden Quill. It's presented to one CNR contributor each year. It's named for the former editor-in-chief, Patty Harmon, and it celebrates literally outstanding educational contributions. We have an amazing group of candidates that were nominated this year, and that is selected through an industry-wide vote for the best featured CNR article. We have our new this year Emerging Leader Awards. It was created to recognize and celebrate the next generation who are already shaping the future of the industry. These are rising professionals that are under 40 years old and are truly driving innovation, elevating their teams, and making meaningful contributions. There were industry judges that reviewed all of the nominations and selected the winners through their contributions, professional accomplishments, and the leadership potential they're already showing our industry. We have our designation, recognition, and pinning. Our RIA designations of content loss, fire loss, environmental risk, and water loss are essential to the restoration industry because they validate expertise, ethical standards, and a commitment to excellence in these specialized fields. These credentials not only elevate individuals' career, but they also raise a bar for the entire industry by ensuring consistent, high-quality service and delivery. These are the gold standard, and these RIA certifications distinguish professional as trusted leaders and subject matter experts. These candidates that are receiving these pins have applied for a seat in each of the classes, and they were approved by a group of RIA volunteers that reviewed their qualifications to even grab a seat. Once approved, they completed hours of prerequisite trainings and attending and showing that they are ready to sit in these premier designations. Once they attended these day-long class or their 3-day-long classes, they were then tested on their knowledge. And then once they passed that exam, they wrote a formal report that was reviewed by RIA experts and finally approved. And that is a very long journey to get this pin. So we are celebrating them at this award ceremony as well. We have our top industry award of the RIA Phoenix Award. Those are to celebrate exceptional achievement in disaster restoration and reconstruction. These awards honor companies who have gone above and beyond following complex losses. So this award highlights the critical role restorers play and showcases innovation and impact across the industry. We have an award in reconstruction, award in restoration. Applications are submitted by companies with a fee. We have a whole committee that scores these submissions based on demonstrated value, effective problem solving in catastrophic situations, and innovative procedures that provide a good example for the industry. The highest score per category will be celebrated and will win that award. We also have our Pete Consigli Scholarship winners. We will be announcing and celebrating 9 professionals that won these scholarships this year to attend convention. This is our first time providing convention scholarships that will be celebrated. The Pete Consigli Scholarship has usually been to allow scholarships to attend our designation classes, which is still part of our Pete Consigli Scholarship Fund, but have not yet been awarded this year. So we will be honoring the legacy of Pete Consigli, who this is named after, and celebrating those that are coming to convention, most of them for the first time. We also have our Lifetime Achievement Award, Marty L. King. This has been awarded annually since 1986, and it is named after an individual, like its namesake, that has made significant contributions to the restoration profession over a span of many years. The selection process is a group consisting of many past MLK winners nominate and select an individual each year to receive this massive and huge, basically a lifetime achievement award. And that is a little download of what you can expect and what we are celebrating at this award. Danielle, next slide, please. And we're going to kick it right over to Cindy, who is our other chair of our membership committee. And she's going to give you a little bit of a download and summary of how to utilize your RIA member benefits and what to expect and how you can use them at convention.
Awesome. Well, good. Hey, this is an exciting time for everyone to join us here in about 2.5 weeks. And just there are so many opportunities for you at the convention, but then there are also so many opportunities that will continue throughout the rest of your year of membership. So we want to encourage you. Nicole kind of mentioned a little bit earlier about the Affinity Partner Program. These discounts are all for items that you use every day. So there's just a great potential for you to save money as well as to save time and just make your education greater. I mean, there are just a lot of opportunities, and these are all listed out on the website. So please, it's one of the pull down tabs. It's just education and as well as the Affinity Partnership. Please just take a few minutes to look at that list before you join us. And again, if you're like me, this is, ideally you would do all this like right before, but I usually end up doing it on the plane on the way to an event. So no judgment here if you spend a few minutes doing that, but we want to make sure that you know about the Affinity Marketplace, which is connected to the Affinity Partner Program. This is a special and kind of new opportunity for our attendees that during Tuesday and Wednesday morning during the breakfast time, all of the Affinity partners will be in the ballroom on level 2, and they are there to answer your questions. I mean, even if you just grab a bite to eat and then walk through there or do it before you're on your way to breakfast, just kind of just scope the room and see, think to yourself, well, I use Xactimate. I'd rather be, getting a discount on that, or I need this education, or this leadership opportunity looks like a great course to take. So those are all things that you'll want to kind of just take a few minutes. I know it's kind of overwhelming to be there for this first time, but these are really great opportunities for you to learn more about your benefits that will continue again after the conference. Will you go to the next slide, Miss Danielle? I mentioned a little bit about the education. RIA has webinars on different topics. And again, these are available to you as members of RIA. And then there's a discount code, which I'm sure will be communicated now as well as after the convention for you to continue to utilize this benefit throughout the rest of the year. The next slide is on just some of your additional membership benefits. You will be part of the Find a Pro directory that is available through RIA. So this kind of sets you apart from your competition and is a great way for you to get your name out there and promote the fact that you are a member of RIA because you see the huge benefits to our industry. These industry insights that are sent out by RIA are a huge help for you just to keep up to date on the latest industry news, anything that the AGA is working on, which we'll talk about here in a second, any kind of legislative updates. This goes right to your email, is a very, very helpful tool, and definitely one that you'll want to be watching for. As they come out and they just allow you to kind of get a summary of everything that's going on and a quick little recap. Can you go to the next page? The biggest thing I want to stress is that RIA is all about restorers for restorers. Our people are volunteers. I mean, really, there are a few staff that are with RIA, but everybody else is volunteering. They're volunteering to be on the board. They're volunteering to be on the AGA committees to help with education. This is an important part of who we are, and people volunteer because they feel like there is value and that they are helping to move our industry forward. So please be mindful that they are volunteers. If you see anybody and their lanyard says that they are on the board or that they are part of these committees, please take a second to thank them. I mean, everybody likes to be appreciated. That's not why they're doing it. But again, going back to what Mandy said, that's a great starting topic for kind of talking, ask them about what they do for RIA and why they've enjoyed being part of this organization. And then the next page is AGA. So AGA, you're going to hear a lot about that. Okay, it's going to come up a lot during the convention. It stands for Advocacy and Governmental Affairs. This is something that is near and dear to all of us in this industry. And we have a couple different categories and committees through this group. And they are dedicated to protecting your financial and legal interests. So they should be our friends. They're fighting and doing a lot of things for us. So the AGA works to unite restorers, to drive equitable policies, and to ensure a balanced restoration process. So again, Mark Springer, you're going to hear from him. He has just taken a role with our organization, and he will be up in front of us kind of sharing a little bit of how he envisions this new role as he works with the insurance carriers to really have a huge impact on our industry. So I know you're going to hear AGA and you're going to be like, what does it stand for again? Advocacy and Governmental Affairs. And it's important. And again, these are volunteers who step forward to work on this for all of us. And I believe that's it for me. What's the next
Thank you
slide?
so much.
There it is.
Thank you so
Yay.
much, Cindy. I do also want to let everyone know the AGA is also the body. It is a group of committees that helps put out things like your position papers. Those are also found, and I will link to it through our LMS and the education platform. And they're positions that we've taken as an industry on important topics that may concern you. So if you want to look at some of those position papers beforehand, they're also available in Spanish and French. And if you are a Canadian member here, AGA Canada has just released its first position paper very specific to Canada and prompt pay legislation. And you can find that as well. So when you go into the position paper homepage, you will see all of them, a French hub for all the French translation, a Spanish hub for all of our Spanish translation, and a Canadian hub for all of the Canadian specific information, including some FAQs if you want to understand what position papers are. And I also want to just clarify the affinity partnership information is and always will be hosted on our main website. It's under resources, drop down discounts on products and services. I popped it into the chat. When you come to convention, each of our affinity partners will have a sign at their booth. And in the app, when it's available for download, you will see a special list delineating who those affinity partners are, and to make it easier for you if you are looking to see who those people are. And last and not least, Miss Michelle Blevins is going to close us out and let you know where to meet us at convention and help answer any outstanding questions.
Beautiful. Okay, good job, everyone. I love this. For if you're still hanging on with us and you do have questions, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A. We'll try to get to all of them before we wrap it up. So yes, before the welcome reception, which is the first night from 5:30 to 7:30, as we've been talking about, you can meet all of us outside of the Expo Hall. It's going to be outside of Expo Hall A at 5:15. We will all be there. We're excited to meet you. We'll all go in together, so you're not going to feel like you're walking into this room that's going to be probably exciting and loud, and people are going to be excited to see each other, so we'll walk in together. We're going to make fast friends there. So again, type some questions in if you have any. I also wanted to talk a little bit about a few of the media partners wanted to do something to help make networking a little bit easier this year, and we're doing something called the 50 Faces 50 State Challenge. So there's going to be some postcards around. You can find them at some of the media booths, and I can give some to the RIA. We're asking you to try to meet 12 people or more at convention, meet them, get their names. You have a postcard that you can fill out, and we're going a little old school at the CNR booth. We're going to have a Polaroid where you can snap, selfies or whatever with your new friends if you want to take home, look at, this is my new friend I met. And we're going to have a bulletin board where we're going to be putting up pictures of all the different friendships and networking that have happened. So there's going to be other ways to hopefully make it fun for people to network, because I know that can be overwhelming. But when you kind of gamify it and there's some prizes involved and all of that, that makes it even more memorable, I think, when you meet people and help remember, like, oh, that was the random person from Iowa that took me forever to find. So stay tuned for that. We will have postcards. Can you put a list of attendees in the chat? That's one of the questions. And then, is there a way to see the types of companies that are representing at the expo? Yes, the answer to that question, if you go to the convention website, you're going to be able to go and look at the entire floor plan there. I think it's like under trade show, or I can't remember, but there's a drop down where you can go and see the entire trade show floor and a list of all of the companies, their URLs, a description of the companies, everything before you hit the trade show floor, so you know what's there. Anything else? Beautiful. Thanks, Christy. So we'll drop that in the chat. Christy, we're going to drop in the, yep, there you go. You can see it in the chat now where you can see the floor plan.
Yes, you can navigate it, zoom in, zoom out, click on booths. It's interactive.
Perfect. If anybody else has any questions, I think pretty much all of us on this call were easy to find, whether it's on LinkedIn or websites or whatever that may be. So please feel free to reach out and connect with us, link with us on LinkedIn before the event so we know to meet you and look out for you. And I look forward to meeting as many people as possible.
And then lastly, the list of attendees, the best way for us to get that to you is through the app. So when the app comes, you will be able to see very individually who will be coming. If you're interested in a summary list of some of the companies that went out recently in an email saying, hey, don't miss out, here are some of the companies that are coming. So I will attach that email again to the summary of this webinar so you can kind of see what companies are coming And the individuals that are coming, you'll be able to see if they choose to make a profile on the app. That is truly the best way because it'll have contact information and what they're choosing to make visible to other attendees. Thank you so much for coming. That is the end of our presentation today. Please, if you want to stick around and ask more questions, we are happy to do that. But if you got everything you needed from today, please have a beautiful rest of the week and we will see you in West Palm Beach.
Sounds good. Can't
Thanks,
wait.
everyone.
Thank you.